So here we are looking at the Never Summer Proto Type 2, which is basically an upgraded Proto with the latest and greatest Never Summer tech. And we've been riding this for a few days now. Today, take a look outside, Jack.
Woo, it's dumping.
Yeah, it's dumpy and dumpy. It's just not
The
quite a
wet
powder day.
Sierra cement.
Yeah, it's just like 6 inches out at best, and just windy and wet and nasty. But it, and yesterday was kind of like chopped up, groomers, powder, some powder, but not a lot. Like not quite a groomer day, not quite a powder day, kind of in that in between. And one of the things that I can just immediately talk about is how the Never Summer shined to this great music, by the way. But anyways,
let's check out the Never Summer. Here we go.
yeah, how it really shined was it was just so good in uneven terrain. It just, it doesn't bounce you around. It doesn't get cranky in slow conditions. It's just a really fun all-day resort board, especially like on Saturdays and Sundays where it's just a shit show. You can get out there and just bounce around in the snow, weave in and out of moguls, and it's great. So, but to go back to the latest and greatest Never Summer tech, they've got the ripsaw camber profile, so there's more camber in the tip and tail. Now, it gives this board a little bit more of a stable profile. It's not quite as stable as the as a hybrid camber board that's camber between the bindings and then rocker afterwards, but it's really close to where I would call it stable compared to the old rocker and camber profile that had more rocker than camber. Now it seems more like 50-50, where the tip and tail are still lifted. You can see a curve in the board, and it's forgiving and friendly, but when you engage into a harder turn, you hit this camber and it just springs you out of the turn. You don't have to get all monkey and get your knees out. You can actually make a turn like more surfy turns, and that camber catches in. Still got a little of this, a little auto spinny, but way better than before. And it can handle flat tracks, long cats, cat runs, flat runs, much better than it could before with the old Proto. The other thing is it's asymmetrical, and it's cool. They're not like screaming that we're asymmetrical. They're just pretty mellow about it. You can see the heel edge. You can see there's a little sign here. It says heel side. So you got to put your heels on this side, and it says heel edge. It's a true twin, so you ride it either way. If you're a goofy, you ride it that way. If you're regular, you ride it that way. But you put your heels on that side, and it has a shallower side cut. That suits where your heels are on the board. And then you have not a shallower, a deeper side cut. Sorry, a shorter, deeper side cut. Then you have a shallower, longer side cut on the toe side to reflect where your toes are hitting pressure. So even though it's asymmetrical, it's actually more symmetrical for your riding. So you actually turn initiation's a little better, a little easier. But where it really shines for me is riding switch, because obviously nobody's really as strong switch as they are regular. And oftentimes riding switch can bring out little errors you make compared to riding regular. And that's why I love asymmetrical twins. But there are some drawbacks. It's really best to be centered on the board and to be riding in a duck stance, like 15, -15, 12, -12, 18, -18, something like that, where you're utilizing this asymmetrical side cut. It can get a little weird if you're riding like 0 in the back and like 18 up front. And setting the board back isn't really ideal either, because it starts to bring out the differences in the side cuts, and it won't feel as natural. It's still doable, it's still fine, but really the best way to ride these boards is centered. And so just all in all though, I've had a blast. It carves better than the Proto, it pops better than the Proto, it handles uneven snow just like the Proto. Never Summer just has that perfect balance between poppy and rubbery, to where it can handle just about any kind of uneven snow. It's not a super bomber board, But if you were in that in between, like you were thinking about the ripsaw, but it seems a little too stiff for you, and the Fun Slinger seems a little too soft, but you want that extra camber. You want a board you can ride the mountain, you can ride the pipe, you can hit jumps with. It's okay with jibs. Not really a board I'd want to bring into the jib part because I'm not a strong jibber. So it would feel like a little scary for me. I'd much rather be on the Fun Slinger. It feels much more softer and forgiving. But this is that board kind of in between those two. Those are 3 twins from Never Summer's line, and they're 3 of their most popular twins. And when I'm done with this video, I'm going home and I'm removing the favorites label on the Proto and putting it on the Proto Type 2 because it is just everything I wanted from the Proto. Like all I wanted was the ripsaw profile actually, but this asymmetrical is a bonus because it just makes switch riding so much more fun. But Jack, you're okay.
I'm okay.
What'd you think? Did you like it?
I like it.
Jack
Super
rode with me
fun.
2 days.
Yes, super fun board. And the quintessential bomb-proof Never Summer. It feels totally bomb-proof.
Yeah, they last forever.
Yeah, they last forever.
Most durable boards in the industry.
Very, very fun.